Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Aso Tarot, and in today's pick a card reading we are going to be looking at what your person was thinking and feeling the last time they saw you. So this doesn't necessarily have to be in person. It could be in a dream, it could be on a Zoom call, on a video call, it could be just scrolling through social media. There's a lot of different interpretations for the last time they saw. So take the one that resonates with you the closest. But we have 4 piles today. We have pile 1 with this aragonite cloud. We have pile 2 with this opalite butterfly. We have pile 3 with this rose quartz sun, and we have pile 4 with this angelite heart. So go ahead and pause the video if you need to decide which pile you feel most drawn to. It's absolutely okay to be drawn to more than one pile. Oftentimes there could be messages for you in multiple piles, or you might have questions about multiple people. What's important is to just take what resonates and do not let the rest take from you. So once you have picked your pile, you can go ahead and scroll down to the description box or the comment section where I will have all the timestamps listed below. And then once you have picked your pile, we will get into your reading. Hi there, pile 1. If you guys chose the pink aragonite cloud, this is going to be your reading. So these are going to be your oracles for what they are thinking, and we are going to use the Modern Witch Tarot to see what else they are thinking. And then we will switch gears and see what they were feeling with a separate tarot deck and separate oracles. And then finally, we will pull you some advice just to see what Spirit wants you to know and what might be shifting in this connection moving forward. Now, what's interesting is I totally just saw the Lovers popped out, and I think these are significant, so I'm going to take them. Okay, so you guys already have 3 cards here, which is really interesting because I'm not sure how they got out of there, but all right. So to start, we have the World and we have the Lovers. We could have fixed signs here, Scorpio, Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, or we could also have Gemini with the Lovers. But I'm going to continue shuffling. I trust that that wasn't a coincidence and it was definitely meant for you guys. We also have the 6 of Wands, but I don't know. Okay. That guy popped out, and so I was like, all right, well, if you want to come out, you want to come out. Okay. So let's actually shuffle for the rest of these now. So, Spirit, what was pile 1's person thinking the last time they saw pile 1? Whatever that may have been. Okay. So we have the Empress, we have the 2 of Pentacles, and on the back of the deck we have the Moon. Okay, so we also have Pisces energy here. And then looking at your oracles to start, we have anxiety. Actually, no, I'm gonna move it right there. We have love grows love, storm warning, the observer, angel of love, good things, and make. Okay, so pile 1, what your person was thinking the last time they saw you. So this is really interesting because the first thing that's calling out to me is this Empress card, and I definitely feel a level of intimidation when it comes to how this person thinks of you. They think very highly of you for sure, and with this World card here with the Lovers, I feel like something has changed in this something changed the last time this person saw you, where they were more willing to be open. I feel like it's possible that you've had a glow up recently of some kind, or you've just been doing really well. It seems like your success is very apparent. But it's definitely clear that this person was nervous to be around you, for sure. Very nervous. And it's possible with this Empress card that they were trying to look their best, appear their best. They were definitely trying to be very, very calm. But they were very much so fighting their fears here when they saw you. With the Seven of Wands in reverse, I definitely feel like they were doing their best to be open and let their guard down, which I think really scared them, because it's possible, especially if this connection has history, that things have gone south before. But I feel like this person just had the intention of coming forward with love and to try to they were trying to not allow their anxious fears about this connection to override their behavior towards you. Because with this love grows love, I feel like they were trying to be in a very positive, very loving energy. And in fact, this is really encouraged, or not encouraged, emphasized by Spirit here with this Lovers and this Angel of Love. There was a lot of love surrounding the two of you the last time you saw each other. And I would say especially so if you saw this person, I would say especially so if you like physically saw this person, or you were talking to them like face to face sort of thing. Because I think the reason why face to face is being stressed to me is because I feel like you don't have the opportunity to see this person face to face very often. Or if you do, it's not very often that you get to be authentic with this person face to face. With this Moon card being here, I definitely think there was a lot of things unclear between the two of you. And this person was definitely afraid of the unknown here. It's quite possible that they were trying their best to appear balanced. They might have had a lot on their mind, but they were trying to not allow that to override them being present. With this Observer here, though, I feel like what they were really trying to do was allow you to show them who you are, rather than place any expectations on you. This person, the last time they saw you, they were very much in this energy of like surrendering kind of, but also an energy of neutrality, because they have a hard time trusting their gut when it comes to people that they feel strongly about. And it's very evident that they feel very strongly for you. And with this Good Things and Love Grows Love, I think it's quite apparent, and obviously the Lovers and the Empress, that their feelings run deep. And I actually think that the last time you saw them was either the first time in a while, or the first time since something major happened in either both of your lives or in your life specifically. This person could tell that you've grown a lot and that you've overcome a lot. And it seemed like you were a lot more authentic with them, and they really appreciated that. If you and this person saw each other because you like made plans or something like that, I feel like this person was happy that you took the time to see them. And even with this Two of Pentacles, I'm actually kind of getting that they maybe felt grateful to be able to see you, because they know that you're really busy and they know that you don't always have time for stuff like this. I feel like they were very nervous about what might happen. And with this storm warning, I definitely feel like their anxiety was getting to them a lot. And I think that there was some divine intervention in the sense that their guides and their angels were really around them, sending like positive affirmations and loving energy around you and them, just so that they could be more present and enjoy the moment. And with this make card here, I feel like they were really thinking about how they can make this a more regular thing, or make seeing you a more regular thing. Or they were thinking about how they could integrate themselves into your life more, or something of that nature. It's quite interesting. With this make card here, it's almost like they were also thinking about maybe what you have made or what you both have made together. It's interesting that hands are emphasized here. So there could be something about hands, like maybe you guys held hands, maybe this person was nervous and like looking at their hands a lot. Oh, I forgot to mention too, when I was shuffling your oracles, the song Barracuda by Heart came on. So I don't know if that is a relevant song to you, but I thought I would mention it. They were definitely nervous, but they had kind of like, they were not trying to show it. I feel like it was very important for them to appear very calm, cool, collected, and in control. And I definitely think that they were focused on making sure that they looked impressive because they view you as impressive. It's kind of interesting. I feel like the same way these cards could be interpreted for them and for you, in the sense that they viewed you in this empress light, but at the same time they wanted to also appear like an empress or an emperor because they wanted you to view them as worthy, wanted you to view them as worthy. And with this Lovers card here, I really do feel like they're thinking about like the choice that they want to make. What kind of, because for a lot of you, I feel like you might not be with this person. I was going to lift this card up, but it's not worth it with my nails. But the Lovers aren't holding hands here. And there's so much about hands here that I feel like there's a desire for, or at least on this person's end, to be more connected to you. And they might have been hoping that you would have connected more or something like that. Or maybe they just felt like closer to being able to connect with you. But with the World card and the Lovers card and the Empress card, I feel like this person realized just how much time had passed between you two, and yet at the same time, like, they couldn't calm their nerves. Like, I feel like this person was like, I've known them for this long, or I can't believe it's been this long since I've seen them. Like, oh gosh, like, how does my hair look? How does anything, like, this person was just very frazzled and trying to appear cool, calm, and collected. And I think that they were very impressed by the things that you have been accomplishing. And if they have been accomplishing things as well, they really wanted to show that off. I think they felt really grateful that you took time out of your busy schedule to see them or make time for them. And I think that, like, overall, they were just really impressed by how secure and confident you seem to be. And I think as well, this person, you could have been observing them as much as they were observing you. And so it could have been a battle between the both of you to stay actually present in the conversation, because you were also trying to internalize your own assumptions about one another, or just the things that you believe to be about one another. But they were definitely thinking about how impressive you are and how much they truly see you as, like, a counterpart or somebody genuinely worthy of their time and energy. I think one thing that makes them afraid, though, is the idea of closing a cycle of two people coming together and following the same path. And maybe they were thinking a little too far ahead of themselves. But this person definitely knows that, like, something is up between you two. And by that, I mean, like, they know that there's something deeper here, something more significant. And I think especially if you saw this person after a while of not seeing each other, or, like, there was a reconciliation after, like, a separation period, I think this just instilled to this person how strong this connection actually is and how simple it is to just pick up where you left off. What I think is beautiful, though, with this Seven of Wands is that this person felt this time like they could be authentic with you and that they could really open up to you, and that you were receptive to them and actually enjoyed hearing what they had to say. And I think they really appreciated that. So overall, this person, last time they saw you, they were thinking very highly of you. They were very impressed by you. They view you as someone very abundant, very kind, very loving, and they definitely feel a really strong attraction to you. And I think that really scares them, because that would, if they open themselves up to you, that would leave them vulnerable. And I think that's where a lot of that anxiety comes in, is, you know, having to take that mask off and be truly authentic and open up to someone, and how that can change things. So let's go ahead and see how they were feeling now. So for the feelings cards, we are going to use the Cosmic Slumber Tarot and more of the same oracles. So let's get that out. I definitely get the vibe, especially like with this pile, that there's a lot of mirroring energy, because at certain points it was kind of hard to, is kind of hard to tell what's them and what's you. And I think that makes sense with the Lovers. You know, Gemini is like kind of that twin energy. I'm not saying that, like, I'm not implying any labels. That's for you to decide. But what I'm just kind of seeing is that, like, there's a lot of nerves, a lot of things coming full circle is what it seems like. And a lot of money moves. I'm hearing like Cardi B, Bodak Yellow in my head, which is interesting. But okay, so let's see. Spirit, what was pile one's person feeling? Okay, wow, Ten of Swords. What was pile four's person feeling? Okay, we have the Lovers again, so that's a confirmation if we've ever had one. What was pile four's, pile four? Oh geez, what was pile one's? Okay. Yeah, this person definitely felt more open to be like chatty with you, and I think they really enjoyed that. I definitely think that this is a connection with history, with that Ten of Swords here. If it is new, it would definitely be like, if it is new, I would say that like this person at the very least like knew of you, because there is a glow up of some kind being shown here. What's interesting is that we have the Two of Pentacles in reverse now, the Eight of Cups in reverse. Okay, Eight of Wands. And I think I'm gonna get one more, please, Spirit. Okay, we have Judgment in reverse. And on the back of the deck, we have the Two of Cups upright. That is beautiful. Okay. So we have the Lovers and the Two of Cups. So that's pretty... I was just hearing like Paris something like, that's hot. Love it. It's so hot. Okay, let's look at your oracles now. So to start, we have Movement, the Heart Eater, we have the Thinking Man, we have Surrender, Yin Yang, Under a Spell, and Trust. Okay, So yeah, this definitely affirms to me that like 100% this is definitely something that probably something that has come full circle, somebody that you have history with. So if this is a newer person, this probably isn't your pile. Because with this Ten of Swords here, it's like this was almost a resurrection of some kind. And with the Knight, or no, the Page of Swords, not the Knight of Swords, there was the opportunity to be more communicative with this person. And this person definitely felt like they didn't tell you anywhere near as much as they wanted to tell you. With this thinking man and the Princess of Swords, I feel like either you or your person or both of you were very much in your heads during this interaction. And I think there was a lot more going on underneath, but there was definitely a fear of being more vulnerable. It was very hard for the two of you. I say the two of you, but I don't know if I mean the two of you. It was very hard for this person, at the very least, to be honest about their actual feelings. And I think that that is because they feel so strongly for you. And I think that the last time they saw you, it really just affirmed to them what they already knew, that there's something really special here, that this is some type of spiritual connection, that they have a lot of passion for you. And honestly, this Judgment card, I'm just hearing like we been new. Like this wasn't some type of this wasn't a type of awakening for this person. It was literally just an affirmation that what they feel about this connection is true and that they know that they're right about it. And with this yin yang, I feel like they're definitely in this feminine energy of receptivity. And the last time they saw you, they were just trying to kind of not control anything and just allow things to be as they will. I think that this person has let go of this connection in the sense that they no longer have an iron grip on it. They've surrendered to the idea that they're probably always going to have sweet feelings for you. And definitely the last time they saw you, I think they definitely had googly eyes for you. And if they weren't, if it didn't seem that way, they were definitely just very good at hiding it, because I think that this person feels very, very strongly for you. And with this yin and yang on top of, the Two of Cups and the Lovers, this person definitely sees you as on their level emotionally and intellectually. And just an interesting counterpart of energy. Very different in some ways, but very similar in others. And I feel like with this person, one thing that they were feeling with this Two of Pentacles in reverse is that it might have seemed like, sorry, I'm getting like multiple things in my head. It might have seemed like they were preoccupied like with something, or this person might like to put off the vibe that they are really busy and stuff like that, or maybe they are really busy. But I think part of the reason why they try to be busy is because they feel this Two of Cups energy as well. I think that the last time they saw you, they felt like it was really nice that they could just focus on you. They honestly, I feel like the feelings were so much stronger here than the thoughts, because the feelings were what were really actually guiding this interaction. And I think that this is the first time that this person told their brain to kind of shut the hell up and let their heart lead. And I think that's why we had Love Grows Love in the last batch. I can't remember what the other one was at this point, but this person was trying to no longer eat their heart, because many times they have kind of shot themselves in the foot, because they're afraid of opening their heart up. They're afraid of showing their heart. And maybe they didn't open up and show their heart, but at the very least, they didn't try to suppress it. They just surrendered to the feelings that they were having. And especially if this was like you and this person came around for the first time in a long time, I think that, you know, they were still in the process of warming up to you. But I think one thing that shocked this person was how easy it was to interact with you. And I think they had a lot of fun with you. And with this movement card and trust, I feel like this person, after seeing you this last time, or while seeing you this last time, realized that they can trust the universe when it comes to this connection. And that I think what they realize is that they will always choose this connection in some way. I guess I have to be careful with saying they will always choose it because, you know, there's infinite timelines. Things can always change. We have free will. But in this moment, I think this person realized that they'll never like fully move on from you. It's with this Two of Cups and the Lovers being upright, it's just like they are literally under your spell. And they, with this card, I totally am like, Cosmo and Wanda, you ain't slick. But this person totally realizes that this connection is in their life for a reason, and that overthinking it is just not worth it anymore. They definitely felt like they had to keep their communication more casual. Maybe they were worried about scaring you away or something like that. But overall, this person just really felt encouraged, and they felt like they could actually let go of this situation in a positive way. Like they've healed, especially there's history, they've healed from a lot of difficult things that might have happened in your past. And I think that at this point, they've come to accept the connection for what it is. It's very genuine, it's very loving. And at the end of the day, I think that this person knows that you likely or hopefully feel the same way, but they know that they can't control this connection, and it's kind of on the universe's watch. And so I feel like, if anything, this person just felt encouraged to move forward on their path and on their journey because they know that you're doing the same, and seeing you really affirmed that. And it kind of just affirmed this idea that they can trust the guidance that they're receiving, they can trust the feelings that they're having, and they can trust that they're not crazy, like that you feel this too, and they know that. And I think there's this really special energetic connection between the two of you where you don't even have to be in the same place to really know what's going on with the other. It's very telepathically connected. And I feel like they might have noticed you being in your head a lot, which they were definitely in their head too. But I think that especially if you guys just talked for a really long time or something like that, they really, really, really enjoyed just getting to shoot the shit with you, is like what I'm hearing, and just talk. I feel like this person, it affirmed for this person that they don't necessarily have rose-colored glasses on when they view you. It's more so just that they have such strong feelings for you. Like, really, this feels like they love you. They might not say that, because with this Page of Swords, I definitely feel like they say a whole lot less than they actually feel. And they don't maybe feel safe yet to do that. There might be things in their heart that they have to overcome in order to feel like they can communicate more authentically. But no matter what, this person views you as a counterpart, and somebody that they truly feel like they can open up to and connect to. And they know that, like, they feel more secure in their truth, and by the truth, I mean like the truth of how they feel about you and the truth of this connection. And I think the last time that they saw you, everything that they felt was pretty much just affirmed. And I think for them, they were able to see beyond the spell and understand why they feel so strongly about you. So I think that this last time they saw you, it was quite liberating for them, because they were finally able to trust the universe a little bit more and stop guarding their heart so much. And it's not because they necessarily opened their heart to you, but they stopped telling their heart to shut down about your connection. They're starting to just be open to the connection, is like what I'm hearing. So I am going to shuffle some advice for you all now. and see what might happen in the near future. So Spirit, what can you tell pile 1 about this connection? What advice do you have for them, and what might occur between these two in the near future? Okay, so we have be bold and make the first move, cardinal moon. It is Aries season, and you're very close to achieving your goal. Let's see what else, please, Spirit. The answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini, so you could definitely expect to hear from this person. The energy is gaining momentum. Waxing moon. And on the back of the deck, prosperity lies ahead. New moon in Taurus. And underneath that, oh wow, we have the north and south node right next to each other. Step out of your comfort zone and don't let the past hold you back. So this is really beautiful, pile 1. I definitely think that Spirit is saying that when it comes to this connection, there's a lot changing, and I think there's a lot of forward movement. I think that if this connection is something that you've been really dedicated to, or is a connection that you feel like is moving in a positive direction, I would say you're absolutely right. And I think that there are a lot of things that this person wants to communicate to you that you might actually hear about soon, especially with you're very close to achieving your goal and the energy is gaining momentum. In fact, I think a particular time frame from when you might hear this person is during a waxing gibbous moon or a full moon. We just had a full moon, so maybe you heard from them over that period. But I definitely think that if you've been manifesting with this person with the moon cycles, Spirit's saying to keep doing that because it's actually working. And beyond that, it seems like the future that you have separately from this person is going to be prosperous no matter what. But if you've been waiting to reach out to them or something like that, Spirit is saying that you have the opportunity to do that as well. Or this could be making the first move towards something in your life that as a result will create some type of, how do I want to say this? It'll help you move forward in your path and be in alignment with your divine plan, which it does seem like this is a very divine connection. So in turn, by making this move towards this thing that you've been feeling called to do, it will help you move forward in your plan, if that makes sense. But pile 1, I'm going to leave this reading here. Thank you guys so much for watching all the way through if you did. And I do also want to say thank you so much for watching my ads. Watching my ads is actually the easiest way to support me. And I can tell that you guys have been watching my ads more, and I just want to say thank you so much for taking that little bit of time out of your day to support me and support this channel. It means the world to me. Obviously, there are financial ways to support me. My Patreon is down below, and I have an affiliate link with Keen, but obviously, times are tough. I completely understand if you cannot support me in those ways. So I do just want to say thank you to everybody who does watch my ads and supports me that way, because that alone is just super meaningful. And I just really appreciate exchanging energy with you. So I hope this video resonated. Definitely let me know down below in the comments. I would love to hear. If you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you left a like, and if you haven't already, I would love it if you subscribed to my channel. I would hit that little bell notification if you want to be notified anytime I upload a new reading. But I am wishing you all a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, pile 2. If you guys chose the opalite butterfly, this is going to be a reading on what your person was thinking and feeling the last time they saw you. So to start, we are going to use the Modern Witch Tarot and these oracles to look at what they were thinking. And then we will use a separate tarot deck and separate oracles to see what they were feeling. And then finally, we will use some final cards for guidance. So if I can shuffle these properly, we'll get into it. I'm definitely intrigued to see what comes out here. When I was shuffling your oracles, I had Stairway to Heaven came on literally as soon as I began shuffling your oracles. So that could be a song relevant to you all. Just to repeat it, Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin. And while I try to shuffle better, I'll tell you a dumb story. Or not even a story, just a weird thing I do. Whenever I see buskers and I'm like not sober, I always ask them to play Stairway to Freebird, because I've had a lot of busker friends and I know for a fact that people always ask to play Stairway to Heaven and Freebird. So that's like my go-to thing. It's pretty lame. I'm full of dad jokes though. Okay. Let's see what this person was thinking and feeling the last time they saw you. So, pile 2 spirit. What were they thinking the last time they saw pile 2? Okay. Death. I thought your Grim Reaper ass was looking super fine. We have the High Priestess. Okay. We have the Empress in reverse. We have the Knight of Wands. We have the Chariot. Woof! We have the Lovers. Hi, Queen. Come out. Okay. Holy Major Arcana. I guess that's what I want to start with. Okay, we have the 10 of Swords, and on the back of the deck, the 5 of Swords. Okay. Oof. This is some energy if I've ever seen some. Wow, okay. I'm hearing resurrection. But we also have communication. We have cornucopia, walking away, take risk, financial constraints, fire mother, and self-care. Okay, so let me list off the signs I see here. We have Scorpio, we have Cancer, we have Gemini, we have Aries, Leo, Sag, especially with this fire mother card. And yeah, I think that's what I'm seeing. So let's just start with this. So what this person was thinking about, this is quite interesting. And in fact, there might be parallels to pile 1, like maybe this is switched or reversed. But this person was really impressed by you the last time they saw you. In fact, I think that they were almost shocked by your glow up. With this Empress in reverse, I feel like they were kind of feeling a bit insecure. And if this person did anything to harm this connection in the past or sabotage this connection in the past, I think that they were definitely feeling guilty about that for sure. And it's possible that you walked away from this person or just walked away from this connection in general. And I think that's actually what this person needed to kind of realize how their habits affected others. With this 10 of Swords here, I feel like this person was thinking about how if there were hard feelings between you or if this person had done something to you, how you'd overcome it and really just been resurrected into something even more amazing and beautiful. With this self-care card here, it was really evident to this person how powerful you are and how you really can't be caught. You can't be taken down. Like with this fire mother, there's a phoenix represented here, so the phoenix could be significant. But they were just impressed by how abundant you were and honestly kind of shocked by how sweet you were to them, despite maybe them deserving a cold shoulder or some cold treatment. With this take risk card, I think that this person, this kind of gives me like Devil Capricorn energy. And with the High Priestess here, I feel like this person is really impressed by how you've been grabbing life by the cojones and really just making life your biatch. Like, you've been going after your passions. For a lot of you, I feel like you've recently come into some money, or you have been promoted or something like that, or maybe you have a business, or maybe like a social media following. I think it was very apparent to this person that they were not on your level with this Empress in reverse, and I think that made them feel very insecure. But at the same time, they were very inspired because they've seen you when you're down. And so to see you not only come back up, but flip the script and just be so in control and so intuitive and like just badass. This is the energy that I'm getting. They were just amazed. And with this communication card, I feel like this person didn't realize until the last time they saw you how easy you are to talk to. Maybe they've always been intimidated by you, and maybe they've always had this like fear of you seeing the real them. But I love this communication card because it's so mirrored. And I feel like this person realized, especially with the Lovers card here, that you both are a lot more similar than you may realize. And I think that this really encouraged this person because they realize that they are just as capable of creating the success that you have, and that things can always change. And I feel like this person thought that they kind of killed this connection because of their own selfishness. But I think that what this person realized is that your spirit is so strong, your spirit is so fierce that nothing could ever bring you down. And you might fall down for a little bit, but you're going to get back up and you're going to get stronger. And that you know how to prioritize your needs and nurture yourself. And so this person is just blown away by what you've been able to do. And truthfully, kind of insecure because they're not sure if they can match your level. But I think that this person realized that maybe seeing you was a bit of a risk, like they weren't sure what they were getting into, or they weren't sure what was going to happen, but they're definitely happy that they took it. And if you've taken risks in order to be successful, they're realizing just how lucrative that can be and how important that might be for them to get to their next step. And with this walking away card, I feel like this person is realizing there's a lot that they need to walk away from internally in order to truly accept themselves. And I think that they also just realized that there's habits within them that they need to walk away from. And I think that they appreciated that you walked away from them because it taught them a lot that they needed to. I feel like this person's been going through some ego deaths, and actually seeing you might have been a whole ego death within itself. And I think that I think that your sweet nature kind of slapped them in the face, because I think that this is the first time that they truly faced you after all this went down, or like after this 10 of Swords, 5 of Swords moment went down. And I feel like they were kind of expecting a lecture, or feared a lecture. And instead what they got was kindness and receptivity, and definitely like not like there's definitely, how do I describe this? Maybe not like you didn't receive them with like passion, but you were open to them, and you were just open to them, like showing you who they are now, showing you what they've done. And I think they really appreciated that. And I think that they realized how real you are. And I feel like they didn't believe that people like you existed, or that people with your kind of heart actually existed. And I think it's fitting that you chose the opalite butterfly, because there's a lot about transformation here, and endings and beginnings. And I feel like this person was just loving talking to you, loving getting to know you, loving the energy between you two. I feel like this person realizes now and trusts your intuitive nature. I feel like they're actually really impressed by it. And I do have to mention it. There's a lot of sexual energy attached to this. Your person is very attracted to you. And I think the last time they saw you, they may have had to hold themselves back from expressing that, maybe because it just wasn't the right time, or not the right place, or they were afraid of rejection. But I feel like they saw a lot of themselves in you the last time they saw you. And it was very motivating for them to keep moving forward and to keep following their dreams and taking risks, because the fact that they feel you so deeply, I think that there's a part of them that knows that your souls must have some significance and some connection to each other. And that if you can do it, they can do it. And with this Chariot, they were like just feeling more confident that they can keep moving forward. And that you're very driven, and they just find that very attractive. You have this perfect balance between movement and stillness. And I don't mean it in terms of like physical movement, but just how you can like move energy, like move conversations, move obstacles, barriers. You just are really impressive to this person. And I think that the last time they saw you, it made them really question a lot about what they thought about you. And I think that this time they were looking at your soul rather than your physical appearance, because I think that that's maybe something that this person hasn't really done before, and so that was a big change for them. But I think what like that's kind of how they've changed, but they've also seen how you've changed. Like physically you're still attractive, like they're still very attracted to you, but I think what changed is that they were more open to looking and receiving insight about who you truly were and what your soul is truly about. And I feel like this person was able to walk away from a lot of misconceptions that they had about this connection and about you. And it kind of lit a fire under their ass, because they were like, wow, like I really, you know, pile 2, they're so abundant. They've changed so much. They've transformed so much. And I think it really made them a bit insecure. And they're like, well, I definitely need to get on my game. I need to prove my worth, show my worth. So yeah, this person definitely was like very, very, very into you. And I would not be surprised if the conversation was quite interesting and very enjoyable, at least for this person. But I definitely think that they were a little bit insecure, but I'm intrigued to see what's going to come out about their feelings, because their thoughts already revealed a lot. So here's the oracle, but we're gonna shuffle the tarot really quickly. I definitely feel like this person had to really face a lot of limiting beliefs the last time they saw you, and recognize that some of the things that they might be feeling are actually just in their head, while other things that they're feeling are so not in their head, and in fact are the signs of it are I don't want to say punching them in the face, but the spiritual equivalent of that. This person's definitely aware that there's something deeper here, that there's something special here. And I think for them, it's just very intimidating to think about being on your level. I'm gonna shuffle one more time. I should have just gone with my gut and not done it one more time. Now I have to do it again because it's going to bother me. Okay, come on. Okay, wait a second. There we go. That's the sounds we like to hear. Okay. Spirit, how is Pile 2's person feeling about Pile 2 the last time they saw them, please? The Wheel of Fortune. That's hot. Let's see, what else, Spirit? The Seven of Pentacles. Okay. The Six of Wands in reverse. Okay, let me turn this one around. The Knight of Swords, the Six of Wands, the Ten of Wands. Okay. Alrighty. The Three of Pentacles. I'm going to go with one more. The Five of Wands. The Chariot in reverse. And what is this guy? Okay, the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so this is really interesting. Hopefully y'all can see all of those, but we're gonna look at your oracles now. So we have It Gets Better. We have number 33, Ripe Fruits. We have Patience, Higher Perspective, the Magician and the Mirror, the Sword, and Move On. Okay. So yeah, everything that this person was thinking validates how they're actually feeling, because a lot of their feelings were actually, they know how they feel about you. That's like kind of, and that's why it shows up a lot in their thoughts. But what's interesting is that because this energy is so mirrored, a lot of what this person was feeling was uncomfortable things about themselves, where they had to face things about themselves. And it was both encouraging and scary at the same time. So one thing I think that this person realized is that the power of forgiveness is very real, and that it's been extended to them. But I think that this person hasn't really let go of the burden of what they actually did to you. And I think that there's a lot of burdens that they carry, not just about your connection, but about kind of life in general. Yeah. With this High Priestess, I just cut the deck to see what would come out. And like with this High Priestess, they definitely view you as that, but they don't feel ready to move forward. They realize that you're getting better, and that gives them hopes that they can get better. But with this Chariot in reverse, they're still unbalanced. There's a lot of unbalanced energy within them. And I think that they're recognizing that you serve as a mirror to them. And the last time they saw you, they were able to see things from a higher perspective, that there is something very real here, but they have to heal the way that you have. With this It Gets Better and Move On, it's like this person knows that they have to move on from a lot of difficult things that they have used as a crutch to not heal. And I think that there's an intuitive awareness inside of them that it's time. And with this Magician in the Mirror, I think that this person realized, oh, I have exactly the power to do what Pile 2 has done. I can transform too. And I feel like this person felt very encouraged that they could finally get themselves out of the rut that they've been in. In fact, they're quite impatient to communicate certain things to you, but they haven't seen the success yet that they want to, which is why they probably haven't come forward in ways that they want to eventually. They really saw this connection for what it is, and that you are a mechanism for them to improve their life the same way you've improved yours. With this Patience card here, I feel like this person realized that it's going to take some time for them to get there, but they're on their way. which I think is quite encouraging for them. Now, I do think that this person worries that you might not stick around for them, that they have a lot of competition, and I think they're very afraid of that. But this person at the same time knows that they cannot put any offers on the table without being ready to offer it. This person wants to be genuine with you. Yeah, with this Emperor in reverse, is they don't feel in control yet. They still have a lot of fears, a lot of doubts, and a lot of limiting beliefs about themselves. And I think one thing that they were feeling was, when it comes to their insecurities, was the fact that you do seem to be so abundant and independent, and that there's got to be people competing for your attention. But this sword, which is what is interesting, is similar to the Fire Mother in the sense that there's regeneration here. And I think that your person realized the last time they saw you that everything can change, and that they can be forgiven, and that you can move on from the past, and that you can heal from a lot of things. And your healing was evidence for them that they could heal too. And with this Three of Pentacles, I definitely think that there's a lot on their job there's a lot about their job that's very important right now. And it's partially why this connection hasn't moved forward as much as they want it to. We saw financial constraints, but the Chariot was up right there. And I think that the biggest difference is that they see that you're ready to keep moving forward, but they're not. And while they would love to move forward with you, they have to catch up first. And so there's this part of them intuitively that's just kind of trying to trust. And I feel like the last time they saw you, they knew that they had to get balanced and kind of get on your energetic level if they ever wanted to have a chance with you. With this ripe fruits, they feel like everything you touches turns to gold. And you touched their heart the last time they saw you. And as a result, they had to see things from a higher perspective and recognize that they're nowhere near ready. They're still climbing their mountain to success. And I think that, whatever their career is, it might be very competitive, or they might have a lot of battles. But yeah, it's like they're kind of trying to be this King of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. They're trying to take power into their own hands, and also trying to deepen their spirituality. I feel like they've reflected a lot on this connection, and I think that when the last time they saw you, it felt very surreal for them, because I think that they looked back on your connection a lot, but they weren't sure if they would ever see you again, or you would ever want to be around them again. And I think that the last time they saw you, they realized just how similar you two actually were, and why this connection never seemed to leave them. With this Three of Pentacles here, I feel like this person wants to show you how impressive they can be, how they can also be that kind of King Midas, and what they can touch can turn to gold as well. But I think they felt that insecurity really came out when they realized, oh, I'm not on pile two's level, and I want to be, but I'm not quite there yet. But it was very motivating for this person, and this person is trying to just accept that they need to be patient, and hoping that you'll be patient as well. Obviously, that's up to you. But I definitely feel like this person, the last time they saw you, they felt like it was almost a long time coming, and really facing you was a huge burden of theirs that they had been carrying for a long time. And I think it was a huge relief to see that things could be mended and that things could get better. And so overall, after this person saw you, it's like they felt like they were ready to, oh my God, now we have the Queen of Wands coming out. Yeah, both wands coming out here. This person sees themselves in you, and they feel like, while you might be further along in your journey, that they have everything that they need to be on your level energetically. It's like they want to be the magician to your high priestess and just match you. It's a really encouraging energy. And I think that this person is seeing their path and their truth and this connection from a much stronger and more evolved state of being and like perspective. There's a lot of truths that still need to be revealed, but I feel like this person is waiting for the right time. They were definitely holding back on their feelings. And I think that's because the way that they feel about you is quite intimidating. And we know what they think of you and what they were thinking about you and what they were just thinking in general when they saw you. And so I think that everything that they were thinking translated to not necessarily triggers, but like weak triggers, I guess you could say, that alerted them to the things that still need to happen for them to be able to move forward, to be able to be on your level, because I think that is what's most important to them. And overall, I feel like they really want to work. They want to work on this connection. They want to collaborate with you. But it's like they have to get their own ducks in a row first, is kind of what I'm seeing. And while you seem to be very successful and very victorious, they themselves are not. And so, but they're headed there. That's like kind of what they want to stress, is that they're headed there. And that the last time they saw you, they had kind of like the confirmation that they needed from spirit to know that they were on the right track and to know that there is something deeper here. I feel like this person is typically someone who, you are probably more spiritual than they are, and are probably more intuitive or more into like tarot and stuff like this than they are, if you are at all. And so I think because of that, they also had this drive to understand that perspective more. And I think that like what they were feeling was kind of like they were out of their element a little bit, but that they could move on and believe new things. And yeah, this 10 of Cups, like Justice and the 10 of Cups, yeah. They realize that they could someday have this with you if it's what they truly want. And they feel like things are turning in their favor. And I feel like they know that you could be a very emotionally fulfilling to them. But it's like they know that they have to get their ducks in a row first. They have to focus on their journey first, because they don't want to weigh you down. Like they want to do right by you. So now we are just going to see what advice Spirit has for you and what might be shifting in this connection in the near future. So Spirit, what do you want pile 2 to know about this connection? What might be shifting in the near future for pile 2? Don't let pride get in your way. Full moon in Leo. We also have it's time to take action. New moon in Aries. Lots of fire again. We also have a time for healing. Balsamic moon. We also have prosperity lies ahead, new moon in Taurus, and on the back of the deck, you are very close to achieving your goal. And I just cut the deck again, and we got the answers you need are coming, full moon in Gemini. So that's good. So Spirit is definitely saying that you're going to be getting answers about this connection. I feel like what Spirit is saying is that it's just time to take action towards your path and your dreams, because it really seems like in terms of where you and this person at, you're probably further along in your spiritual path and like where you need to be than they are. And I think that this person is trying to heal and just be in alignment, but Spirit is saying that you've been doing a lot of healing. And with don't let pride get in your way, I feel like if you want to be more open to this person or ask this person anything, or be like, or just maybe be in their zone of awareness more often, that you can do that. But it has to come from a place of love and authenticity. But yeah, I feel like you're going to get a lot of answers soon. Like the answers you need are coming. You're very close to achieving your goal. Spirit's really saying, like, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a wonderful job, and keep focusing on you and focusing on your own healing. And this will all fall into place the way that it is meant to. Yeah, conclusions are within reach. So pile 2, I'm going to leave this reading here, and what I want to say is thank you so much to everyone who is watching my ads all the way through. I can tell that people have been watching them, and I just really, really appreciate it so much. That is the easiest way to support me. Actually, while there are other like monetary ways you can support me, like my Patreon or my affiliate links, just watching my ads is literally the easiest way to support me and my channel. And I know times are tough, and obviously like I'm just grateful that you're here. So if you are watching the ads, I just want to say thank you so much for supporting me and for believing in me and helping my channel grow. But if you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you left it a like and comment down below how it resonated. I would love to hear. If you haven't already, I would also love it if you subscribed and hit that little bell notification to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. Thank you guys so much for letting me read your cards. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye. Hi there, pile 3. If you guys chose the Rose Quartz Sun, this is going to be your reading on what your person was thinking and feeling the last time they saw you. So to start, we're going to see what they were thinking using the Modern Witch Tarot deck and these oracles, and then we will switch gears and see what they were feeling last time they saw you. I want to reiterate that seeing you could be a multitude of different things. It doesn't necessarily have to be in person, but we will look at that, and then we will get you some advice and things that might be shifting in this connection for you. So a lot to do today. Songs that I heard You Really Got Me by Van Halen when I was shuffling your oracles, and then as I was about to start your reading, I heard Broad Ripple is Burning by Margot and the Nuclear So-Sos. Long name, but if any of those are of significance, I was hearing them. But to start, we will shuffle your tarot. So Spirit, what was pile 3's person thinking the last time they saw pile 3? Okay, we have the Moon. We have the Emperor in reverse. What was pile 3's person? What were they thinking? Okay, we have the Knight of Wands. We have a lot of Aries here. Aries, Leo, Sag. We also have Pisces. Okay, we have the Seven of Pentacles. We have the Seven of Cups. Okay. So then finally, we have the Three of Wands, the Ten of Wands in reverse, and on the back of the deck, the Three of Swords. Okay. Then as for your oracles, we have Healing, Hiding, Man Holding a Heart, Strength, the World. This one is with feelings. The World. We also have Dream Travel and Defeat. Okay. So the last time this person saw you, it could definitely have been in a dream, which is interesting because it might say a lot as to why they were feeling the way that they were, because this almost feels like it didn't really, like the last time they saw you, it was not in person. It definitely could have been, so don't get me wrong, but one thing that I find interesting is that we have the Moon upright, the Seven of Cups, Dream Travel, Hiding, the World, and this Emperor in reverse. So what I'm feeling like is that this person, the last time they saw you was actually in a dream, and I think that's why they felt not felt, that's why they're thinking all of this, because I think that there could be, like, you could literally be married to this person, but like they just had a really insane dream or something. So there's a lot of different variations, so I guess I should just start. But with the moon, they were definitely fearful. They didn't feel in control of the situation, and it seems like the forces around them were far too strong for them to change anything. But what's interesting is that this dream seemed to have been very impactful to them, because they definitely felt defeated within the dream. But after the dream was over, I think they realized that there's things that they need to heal. With this Three of Swords, I feel like this dream might have been particularly, I don't want to say traumatic, but upsetting and kind of scary. I think a lot of this person's fears, honestly, this doesn't sound like a dream. It sounds like a nightmare with you kind of involved in it, which is ironic since you chose the sun. But it seems like for some of you, it's like they lost their entire world, and that could have been you. Or maybe this man holding a heart is you, or you're the person that holds their heart and their world. So something might have happened to you, which was very afraid. I feel like if you are with this person, they did not tell you about this dream because of how kind of disturbing it was. They felt super out of control in this dream. Like they couldn't control it at all. It was far too strong for them. And what it kind of seems like is they thought that you were moving on to someone else, that you didn't want them. Or that they didn't have you. They were very afraid. But whatever this dream was, it seems like Spirit created it for a reason, because it seems like it was meant to kickstart some type of healing that needs to happen. It shed a lot of light. There's this burden that your person has been carrying, and I think it relates to maybe insecurities within your connection, whether you're with this person or not. You definitely have this person's heart in a way, and I feel like this dream was a manifestation of a lot of fears that they have surrounding you and this connection, and how they approach like love and romance. And this is kind of a big burden that they've been carrying, and so Spirit kind of dropped this dream on them to help them expand their horizons. It forced them to reflect on a lot of things that maybe they were ignoring or weren't being open to. And I think it made them realize that they were kind of being disillusioned in certain ways. It feels kind of, honestly, it feels like a fun house of mirrors, like Alice in Wonderland type energy. Like this dream was really lucid, but they didn't have any control over it. So it's like they were almost in their own production of their like biggest fears. And I think it was really scary. They probably haven't told you about it because either it's embarrassing to them, or you might not even be talking to this person or something like that. But this dream seemed to really bring this person to their knees in a scary way. And maybe this person is a Knight of Wands. They could have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius placements. But I think this person was realizing that whatever happened in this dream, that they need to stop looking for temporary fulfillment in some way. or that they need to be willing to expand their horizons, whether it's on this connection or otherwise. Because like, especially like if you're with this person, for example, you know, maybe this person hasn't been thinking about the future too much because they've been too worried, because they've been too busy focusing on the now, or they haven't really healed things that they need to heal because they're afraid to, or maybe this person didn't realize how destructive their behaviors were and that they might lose you or something like that. Whatever it was, they felt very defeated. And I think that this, like, I'm just gonna go on a limb here and say that you didn't see them, they saw you. This was a dream that they had and they did not like it. But it definitely was important because Spirit needed to show them how they weren't showing up properly, either for you or for themselves, in order to either move this connection forward, or be more authentic in this connection, or just be a better person, is kind of what it seems like. They really respect you, and I think there's things that they don't want you to know about. Like, they definitely like haven't told you about this dream. Maybe for some of you, if they have, if they're exceptionally close. But I think that this dream was a wake-up call in certain ways, that they may not all, like, they might lose things if they're not strong enough to take action. They're pretty imbalanced is kind of what I'm seeing. We have a lot of 7s, we have a lot of 3s. And as a result, I think that they're realizing that maybe they need to be more in touch with their emotions in some way. Like, they might be really destructive right now because they're not addressing their emotions in a real way. They're really hiding them and pretending like everything's fine. And it's creating this really heavy burden on their heart. And the universe might have used you, especially like, because it's entirely possible that you're not talking to this person, or that you haven't talked to this person in a while. And so it's likely that you have no idea that they even had this dream, because like Spirit's like literally they're hiding. But there's also things that they've been hiding from themselves, specifically things that they needed to heal. And I think that Spirit showed them in this dream that like they weren't allowed to control it, because they were meant to feel defeated, because it was meant to show them that they're not as in control as they think they are, and that they need to do some reflecting and really figure out what their next move is, what their next step is, and what it is that they truly want, and heal these things in their heart that are stopping them from living authentically. I think this person is really afraid of their emotions. With this 3 of Swords here, I feel like this, I'm intrigued to look at what's going to come through in the feelings, because this dream made them feel very vulnerable and open something up in their heart space that they were really trying to hide themselves from. I feel like they could have used substances as a way to hide from this, as well as work or just temporary things. But this dream was really strong, stronger than their free will was, and their ability. Even if they can lucid dream, they were like, Spirit made it so that they could not control this dream at all. Like, they had to be a participant and just allow things to happen. I'm actually kind of curious to know what might have happened in this dream. So, Spirit, what really happened in this dream? What happened in this dream? Being told to pull 3 cards. Okay. You have the 8 of Pentacles, 6 of Wands in reverse. Actually, I think I need 4. 7 of Wands upright, and the World again. Devil in reverse. Okay, well, I guess Spirit isn't specifying, probably because the dreams were different for everyone else. But Spirit essentially sent this person a wake-up call, and they were like, look, you need to get to work on fixing some of these habits and fight these demons, because you want to be successful. You want to achieve a lot. but you can't move forward until you close out this like kind of problematic cycle that they're experiencing. I think they literally watched themselves fail, whether it was in love, whether it was in work. You were definitely in it in some way. Like either like they could have been embarrassed at their job. Maybe you work with this person, or they saw, or you saw them fail in some way. Maybe they had to fight for you, or they tried to fight for you and they lost you. Like you're a big part of their world. There's definitely fixed energy that Spirit is trying to work on, but we're gonna go ahead and see how they felt about this dream and see what's happening moving forward, because I'm very, very intrigued to see about that. There's always like one pile where it's just some kind of like curveball that Spirit wants to throw my way, but I'm cool with that because they're pretty interesting. So moving on, we are going to look at their feelings now. So these are the oracles for their feelings, but we're going to start by shuffling the Cosmic Slumber Tarot first. And like, honestly, I'm not getting a good read on like what type of connection this is. So it's possible that maybe for some of you it's even a platonic connection, or it's platonic right now, but it seems like this person really respects you, or they are intimidated by you. And so however you reacted to them in this dream, or however they might have lost you in this dream or lost this connection, if it's an existing thing right now, really spooked them. For others, I feel like maybe you and this person are in separation, or you don't even really talk anymore, but they still admire you, and they might have failed in some way and you saw them. And I think that maybe gave them a wake-up call that like, if they fail in real life, you'll probably know about it. You'll probably see it. But I don't know. It's interesting. So, Spirit, how is this? Okay. I'm hearing I'm sorry. So maybe for some of you, this person hurt you recently, and Spirit kind of threw it back in their face dream style, and they realized, I'm going to have to give them an apology. Or maybe they did apologize already. Spirit, how is this person feeling about this dream? And pile 3. We have Judgment in reverse. Okay, so they haven't maybe fully... Okay, I'm going to take this one. I'm going to leave the others. We have the 6 of Wands upright, so that's a positive sign because we did just have it in reverse. We have the 2 of Wands in reverse and the 9 of Pentacles upright. We have the Prince of Cups, or the Knight of Cups, and the 4 of Swords in reverse. And on the back of the deck, we have the Sun in reverse. Okay. Let's look at your oracles now. We have Fear. We have Cast Your Sacred Symbols. We have Strategy, Soul Work, Anxiety, the One Who Needs Control. Oh my gosh, okay. And Fire. Okay, I'm going to... Yeah, what am I doing? Okay, I'm switching these. All right. So... this is really interesting because this not only affirms what I was thinking, but it really gives me insight onto why Spirit did this. The fact that we have the One Who needs to control, and the Emperor being in reverse in the last spread really goes to show how this person does not like to like, they have a very fixed energy. They do not like to relinquish control, and they certainly do not like to feel out of control. And so I think that this dream really opened their eyes to realize that they've got some soul work that they need to do, that they need to feel more secure in themselves, and also that they maybe need to give you space to be, and One thing that I'm hearing is that they had to face their fears with the sun in reverse and the moon being upright in the last pile. They really had, Spirit used this dream to fuel their fire, and also part of their fire needs to be motivated by fear. I think this person felt too secure before, and that's why they didn't want to change their habits. They felt like they were in control. But I think Spirit needed to show them in some way that they needed to get their shit together and get moving is what I'm hearing. For some, I feel like, maybe this person, I feel like this person realized how strong their feelings are for you from this dream because they had to face losing you. And so for some, especially if you're with this person, like if maybe you and them have been having a rough patch or something like that, this person, maybe they were just very, very sweet to you one morning or the next day or something, and you're like, oh, I wonder what changed that. But it's like, I think when they woke up, like literally this dream, while they were asleep, they woke up. And then once they actually woke up, they realized what they needed to do. And I think that for them, they realize that they can be successful, but they have to put the work in. And also explore some things independently. And I think for them, one thing that they need to learn is that they can't be in control all the time, and that they need to face their fears. But also that when it comes to getting what they want, they have to strategize. They can't just live in their head. Like, they can't just fantasize about things. They have to make moves at some point. And so with this fire and cast your sacred symbols, it seems like Spirit literally lit the fire under this person's ass and was like, all right, okay, it's time for you to get your crap together. And what's interesting here is that it seems like Spirit used you as a mechanism to see how important it is for them to do this work. Because either you already know that you're important to this person, or because honestly, the interesting vibe that I'm getting is that like either you're like with this person already in some capacity, or you're not talking to this person right now, like, or you're like in separation with this person. And with the Six of Wands, though, this person is feeling like they can get going. They're not going to sleep on this anymore. And I think there's things about this connection and also their path in general. It's kind of like a twofold thing, because I think there are things that they need to work on, especially when it comes to their monetary abundance or like their job, because they are kind of abundant already. But I think that maybe they've gotten complacent in that, or just complacent in their progress in life. Like maybe they're being a bit stagnant and feeling like they've gotten everything figured out, when Spirit's like, hold on, you have a lot that you actually need to heal. And I would be surprised if they haven't made moves towards you already in some way. Especially if you're in separation with this person, it seems like they may want to come back and have some type of reconciliation. But I definitely think fear and anxiety could be holding them back. I think that they are very afraid to lose you, but they are just as afraid to maybe admit fault and say that they're sorry, or that they were wrong. Oh, God forbid that they were wrong about something. I'm definitely getting that energy from them. But I think that they're realizing they just need to be more open. And maybe they need some clarity before they move forward. But I think that they had to realize that they could lose the sun, or they could never have the sun if they don't face their fears first. And through doing that, it's like they kind of need to relinquish a lot of control. And heal their heart. That's like the biggest thing. There's a lot of wands, there's a lot of swords and pentacles, but there's not a lot of cups. Like the Page of Cups and the Knight of Cups. So they need to start healing their heart so that they can take better actions towards you in some way. And I think that they're realizing that they're headed towards a new stage of life. And at this point, they need to grow up a little bit, is kind of the energy that I'm getting from this. So I'm definitely intrigued to know how this pile resonates for you, because it it kind of makes sense that that Van Halen song came out, because like you really got this person going, like just in your dreams. Like you're out here on the astral, like giving this person the wake up calls that they need to get going and get moving. It's really quite interesting. But they're definitely afraid that they won't succeed or that they'll lose you. You seem to be doing just fine on your own if you are on your own. If not, I think that this person is realizing that you won't, like if you're with this person, like you're not just gonna stick around forever and allow them to stagnate. Like if you're moving forward, you expect them to be as well. So they're trying to choose their fire over their fear and address what needs to be done. But they're feeling confident in themselves. Like they're gonna do what they need to do, and they're gonna be able to move forward. So we're gonna get some advice for you and see what Spirit wants you to know about this connection, and what might be shifting. So Spirit, what advice do you have for pile 3? What do you need them to know about this connection and what might occur moving forward? Nothing will come of this situation. Void, of course, Moon. So especially if you're in separation with this person, it's like that you gotta like give this person space to do what they need to do. The end of a tough cycle approaches. And I definitely think that if you've been feeling this anxiety and this fear, you know, maybe you've been having similar dreams. Maybe this is mirrored. I feel like Spirit's saying especially that fear, nothing will come from that. We also have your hard work is paying off, new moon in Capricorn. So holy Capricorn. Let's see what else, Spirit. Balance spirituality and practicality. And on the back of the deck, look at the bigger picture. Full moon in Pisces and full moon in Sagittarius. The moon is actually in Sagittarius right now. But I think that Spirit is saying just to stay in your lane. Because it seems like this person is very clearly stubborn. And it seems like this person is getting the messages. Like, clearly you're doing your job on the astral. You don't have to worry about anything else. And worrying about it and feeling like you have to do anything won't really help here, because I think that this person has to feel like it's their idea or it's their move rather than somebody else's. So I think that's really interesting, because they need to feel like something is their idea before they do it. And I feel like you've been pretty hands-off, and if you've been pretty patient with this person, or you've just been doing your own thing, and Spirit's saying that you've been doing a very good job, and to look at things from a higher perspective and just focus on your own spirituality and your own physical 3D world, and things will work out. I also see what do you need to release. So it's possible there are things like expectations you might need to release about this connection or something like that. But I definitely feel like this person is kind of going through it a little bit, and very much so in a way that they need to be, because they have things that they need to achieve, and also lessons that they need to learn about love and about who they are in love and what they want. And also they need to learn how to surrender. I think that's a big thing. You know, the one who needs control, they're very afraid when they don't have control. And so there's a lot of like Ram, Aries energy, a lot of Capricorn energy. So I feel like this person definitely, you know, fixed energy like the sun. You know, there's Leo there, prideful. Yeah, so that's quite interesting. I feel like Spirit is saying just focus on you. Nothing will come of worrying about this person, because think about how hard it is to change yourself, and then think about how hard it is you can't change somebody else. So pile 3, I think I'm going to leave your reading here. I know this reading was kind of all over the place, but thank you guys so much for watching it all the way through. I'm sure you won't know if it resonates or not, because it's not like you were there in the dream unless you remember it. But I do quickly just want to say thank you so much to everyone who is watching my ads. That is by far the easiest way to support me. and it is obviously the cheapest way to support me. It's literally free. It's just a minute of your time, and it's the best way to exchange energy with me, and I can tell that a lot of you have been doing it, and so I just want to say thank you so much. Obviously, if you're interested in supporting me in other ways, I have my Patreon and affiliate links down below, but I did just want to say quickly thank you so much to everyone who does watch my ads. It helps me and my channel like you wouldn't believe, and I'm so incredibly grateful just to have you here. But thank you so much for letting me read your cards. Definitely comment down below how it resonates. I would love to hear. If you have any dreams that you remember, like maybe you and this person were in the same dream without even realizing it. If you're like, this, I feel like I was in this dream, you know, if you know anything about it, I would love to hear, because it seems like the dreams were very different. But if you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you left a like, and if you haven't already, I would love it if you subscribed and clicked that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a reading. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, Pile 4. If you guys chose the Angelite Heart, this is going to be your reading on what your person was thinking and feeling the last time they saw you. So we're going to look at these oracles in a second, but I am going to shuffle on camera. We have the Modern Witch Tarot to look at their thoughts, and then we will use the Cosmic Slumber Tarot to look at their feelings, as well as their feelings, as well as oracles, to see their feelings as well. And then we will look at advice and like what might be shifting in this connection in the future. So it's definitely interesting. The piles have been quite interesting to start. As usual, I have no idea if they're gonna resonate. It's so funny because like I'll see comments that are like, be more confident in what you're saying, and I'm like, bro, I have no idea what I'm saying. I'm legit not kidding. It feels like I'm being fed words most of the time. So I'm like, okay, like I guess maybe this. But rest assured, your really sweet comments and stories are always so meaningful to hear. And I just am really grateful to everyone who is so kind and supportive, not only to me, but to each other in the comments. You all are very appreciated. So let's see here, Spirit, what... Oh, shit, I forgot to, songs. I was listening to music while I was shuffling all the oracles for the piles. Interestingly, you guys got the same song as pile 1. Apparently, I had 2 of the same song in this album, in this playlist, but they were 2 separate albums, so I thought that was quite interesting. So the first song that you got was Barracuda by Heart. And actually, pile 1 got that as well. So if you were drawn to pile 1, there might be messages there for you. But your specific song, pile 4, is Back in Black by AC/DC. So doing that before I forget. So Spirit, what was pile 4's person thinking the last time they saw pile 4? Okay, we have the Devil. Off to a promising start. The 5 of Pentacles. Got Capricorn energy. The Ace of Cups. Strength. The Ace of Pentacles. T. The 2 of Swords. Oh my goodness. Okay. So we have the 2 of Swords. What are these? The 4 of Cups and the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. And on the back of the deck, we have the King of Pentacles in reverse. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, let's look at your oracles now. Have a lot of mirroring going on. We also have Leo here with Strength, Capricorn with the Devil, more Earth, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus with the King of Pentacles as well. But let's see your oracles. So to start, we have Spirit, the Messenger, Journey, the Pillar, Envy, A Fearful World, and Boundaries. Okay. Wow, this is really, really interesting. Okay. Pile 4, this person really admires you, and you might have this person blocked for some of you. For others, this person might have blocked you, and you might not know why. For some of you, I definitely feel like there's distance here with this journey. And I get like Scorpio energy, even though I have nothing here to indicate that, which is interesting. But with this Pillar card, the Oracle deck that this is, this Oracle deck, they have a tarot deck as well. And in that tarot deck, the Empress is represented by the Pillar. And the fact that we have Strength underneath it, this person definitely wishes that they could be on your level. In fact, I think that you are particularly triggering for them because they think all the time about having a new beginning with you. Whether you've been with this person or not, I think that they see you as maybe the one person that could actually tie them down. And I definitely feel like this person feels insecure. Well, insecurity is a big theme, a big running theme in these readings today. And in fact, I think that this person is very afraid of change. And Spirit's really been communicating with them lately. And I think that when they saw you, for a lot of you, I feel like they saw you on social media in some capacity doing something. It's almost like, yeah, like with this King of Pentacles in reverse, it's like they didn't see you physically. But I don't feel like they saw you in a dream state or anything like that. I feel like they saw your success from afar in some way. Like they're watching your journey. And they're peanut butter and jealous. Let's talk about that. I feel like they try to pretend that they don't miss you. And I think for some of you, it bothers them. And this is, well, I guess it's not my job as a reader to be judging. I'm not saying that this is a good thing that they're doing this or that it's just show that it's a reflection on them, not a reflection on you. I feel like they low-key kind of wish that you were down on your luck, but not because they actually want you to be, but because they want to feel better about themselves and they see you shining and they want to be on your level. And actually, my mother, my beautiful mother, has told me about this term leveling before, where instead of somebody aspiring to match you, they would rather try to bring you down and bring you to their level. Because I think that your success makes them afraid. And with this Devil card here, I feel like they feel tied to you in some way. In fact, they might be obsessed with you at times. They feel like they can't escape from this connection, and they're kind of going through it. I do feel for them. I do think that they have a lot that they're dealing with, but they're trying to be more open. With this King of Pentacles in reverse, I feel, and the Four of Pentacles, Four of Cups in reverse, I feel like this person is trying to be more open-minded, and they're trying to be more receptive to what Spirit is trying to have to say, is trying to tell them. Because I think seeing you succeed, what's interesting is like this 20 reduces to 2, and so does this, well, 2's already a 2. So I feel like they're envious of how far along you are on their journey, and it seems like they have so much to catch up on. And like with this Two of Swords here mixed with the boundaries and the fearful world, It's like this person wants to follow in your steps, but they're not quite sure how to yet. And so rather than take action, they might be kind of down on themselves right now, and in this sort of like pity me, woe is me energy. Definitely not towards you. I would say that like they're very prideful, especially if there's like Leo energy here, or even Capricorn energy, honestly. Where they want you to think that they are doing really well, and they probably like to portray it as such. I feel like from your perspective, they're probably a little bit reserved. But I feel like they were also thinking about what it would take to be close to you. Because especially if you're at a distance from this person, they know that they have to kind of get themselves together if they ever want to be worthy of you. Like, you wear so many hats in your life, pile 4. And this person sees how strong you are and how much you've overcome. And it's really difficult for them because they have such strong feelings for you and they want something secure, but they don't feel secure in themselves. They're quite insecure. And in fact, it seems like they're kind of going through the dark night of the soul right now. And I really feel for them because that sucks. That shit's not easy. And if you've been through that, I feel like hopefully you can sympathize or empathize with that. Because this person might have pushed you away because they were triggered by your success, and they were triggered by how much you've been able to achieve, and the fact that you've been able to overcome, truthfully, a lot of like naysayers and a lot of people that didn't think you could do what you have done. And so I think that this person is realizing that they've run out of excuses not to heal, not to change. And seeing you has made them realize that there's only 2 types of people in the world: the ones that entertain and the ones that observe. Said by our prophet, Britney Spears. And it's kind of this energy where this person is like, do I want to be an observer or do I want to be an entertainer? And I don't even mean entertainer in like a literal sense, but like being the source of entertainment in their own life, like being the ringleader of their own life. Are they going to watch others, or are they going to have all eyes on them in the center of the ring, just like a circus, you know? Kind of that energy. Being that lion tamer, to tame their own lion, essentially. I feel like this person fantasizes about an opportunity a lot. They fantasize about being in the light with you, about catching up to you. It's like you're over here, you know, just vibing, and they're in their little stone cave, little curmudgeon cave, like, oh man, I wish I could be there. And you're like, hey, you can be, but you're not looking back. You're not looking back. So you're like telepathically saying, hey, you can be, but you're not looking back. You're moving forward. You're moving towards the light. You're doing exactly what you're doing. Amazing, sweetie. You're doing amazing, pile 4. But yeah, this person is definitely looking. What the hell happened to my fingers? Damn, shuffling will do it to you, I guess. Yikes. But yeah, this person is peanut butter and jealous, as we have already confirmed. And I think that this person is trying to stop being so stubborn and kind of get out of this victim mentality that they've been in for a long time. I think that's something that holds them back. And in fact, there might also be like addictions or something like that come to play into this. I definitely feel like they have demons in their head of some sort, and I don't mean like literally, but I mean just like negative thoughts, intrusive thoughts. They really are struggling and pretending like they're not, especially because they don't want you to see it. The last thing they'd ever want is for you to see it. So let's see how they're feeling about you, how they're feeling in general. Be quite interesting, because I think that for a lot of you, I think you're just out here. I mean, I feel an intense degree of separation here. And what I even mean by separation is like physical distance. Like you just feel removed from their life, from their situation, which is interesting. So first we are going to use the Cosmic Slumber Tarot to see what information we can get, and then I will lay out the Oracle cards. I definitely feel like there are a lot of kings and queens watching right now because all the people I'm channeling are insecure, which I mean, I guess we're all insecure in our own ways, but when it's something that's highlighted to me over and over, it definitely seems like a lot of people have been out here manifesting with the moon and, you know, making their dreams come true and taking risks and following their soul's desires and following their dreams. And so I just want to say, like, if you've been taking steps to better yourself, better your life, and follow your path, give yourself a pat on the back. Like, you're doing amazing. You are doing amazing, Pile 4, and you deserve everything. Everything in the whole world. And this person thinks so too. And they feel like nothing, which is why this is so hard for them. So, Spirit, how is Pile 4's person feeling about them? How did they feel the last time they saw them? How did they feel, Two of Pentacles, the last time they saw them? The Knight of Wands. How did Pile 4's person feel the last time they saw them? We have the Seven of Swords in reverse. Okay, we have the King of Cups. Oh yeah, there's the feelings. Okay, low-key, I don't even want to say low-key because it's honestly kind of high-key. They definitely might look at your pictures because they feel very physically attracted to you, and they might use you as source material. Let's just say that. And there's something deeper to it, but I feel like they feel more comfortable looking at it from that light. But I think they might be frustrated because they can't even look at it from that standpoint because you're kind of mirroring all of their insecurities, and that's triggering to them. Yeah, we have the Hierophant in reverse. But we also have the Chariot upright, the Universe, Death, and the Six of Cups in reverse. Okay. T. Okay, so I'm probably going to have to move these over. We've had so many tarot cards out today. There's that Scorpio energy, though. I knew there was some Scorpio energy in here. We also have Cancer with the Chariot, Taurus with the Hierophant, all the water signs with the King of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, like the two ones I literally just listed 10 seconds ago. Hi, I have ADD. How are you? We have the Knight of Wands, which is Aries, Leo, Sag, and with the Universe, we have the fixed signs. Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, and Leo. Okay, so let's look at your oracles now. We have Someone Soon and Light. We have Deceit, the Void, Angel of Balance, Fear that the light will bring judgment, and the Truth. Okay. Well, yeah, this person is definitely, I feel for your person, Pile 4. And honestly, you might be like, they're not my person. Like, either I don't know who this is, or this is somebody that, like, I've hardly talked to or I'm not involved with at this point. It's interesting. But this person, because of you, is taking accountability for what they need to start doing. I feel like they definitely, with Someone Soon in the Void, when this person looks at you, they see all the things wrong with themselves. And that's not your fault. You're just out here, like, vibing. You're not doing anything wrong. But I also think that this person recognizes that they feel a lot for you, which they likely have never admitted, and kind of just adore you from a distance. And they act like everything's great, but they're lying. They're really lonely, actually, very lonely. And they feel like you're light. And they feel like they're darkness. They are just darkness. And they're this void. And they're trying to kind of get a hold of both, because that they know that's what they need to move forward. And they feel like you have been giving them the inspiration or all the negative feelings that they need to feel in order to start living in their truth and be balanced, because Spirit has wanted this for them for a long time. And so I think that they are taking these first steps. I think that they stalk your social media a lot, if I'm going to be honest. But if you don't have social media, then I would say maybe they hear about you through word of mouth or something like that. Because it doesn't seem like they're directly showing themselves, is what's interesting. They're recognizing it's time to change and close out this chapter so that they can move forward towards their dreams, towards their success. They've really been ignoring the spiritual cues. And it's interesting because even in this King of Cups, it's like his crown is like tilted over his eyes, like he's sleeping. And, you know, the King of Cups is all about having these great emotional depths, but kind of being at a distance, maybe not opening up about it. And this person is aware that they need to stop self-sabotaging if they ever want to be near your level. I feel like this person is really lonely. And they want to open up about that. They feel like they want to embody the light, but they're afraid of what others will think. And I think that's one thing that maybe stops them from moving forward. They could be quite egotistical, or if not egotistical, just insecure about judgment from others. And with this Knight of Wands, at the very least, they're feeling more motivated to move forward, which is good. Because the truth in their heart is that they want to be like you and want to be on you for some of you, for a lot of you. And with the Six of Cups in reverse, it's like they either want to let you know what's going on or they want to communicate with you, but they're not going to, because it's like they have to figure this out for themselves. They feel some like affinity towards you, but they're unwilling to admit that because they just don't feel on your level at all. Like literally the void, like they're devoid of love for themselves. And so they know that like they can't really show up for you or even put themselves in your radar when they've got to just find balance in their physical world. It's like they can't even go internally right now because they have to focus on like their practical needs and kind of getting that together. And then further than that, maybe if they brought their truth to you, that they don't know how you feel about them, and they're not sure if you would even reciprocate. But you're definitely an inspiration to them, for sure. And it's interesting because I feel like you and this person don't even really know each other very well. For some of you, not all of you. But yeah, they're really lonely right now. I'm literally hearing like the Justin Bieber song, like, oh, if you had it all, but nobody to call. Maybe then you'd know me, because I'm so fucking lonely. Oh, no. Oh. Yeah, they're really lonely. Pile 4, send this person some love. You might hate them, but for some of you, but you don't have to. But I mean, I'm sending this person some love because I feel for them. I really do. And I think they'll get it figured out. I think they will. But you're playing an integral role in that by just shining and being the king or queen that you are. So congrats to that. But yeah, this person is feeling like it's time for them to change. It's time for them to start a new cycle. They're trying to stop being so stubborn. And I think for them, there's a lot of inner child healing that needs to happen, which is interesting. Because I think there's something about your authenticity, Pile 4, that really makes them uncomfortable. Because I think that there is an acknowledgement in your authenticity and the fact that you're able to be comfortable in your truth and kind of embody your truth, that makes this person realize that they're not comfortable with who they are, and that maybe they don't like who they are, and that they're not as authentic as they could be. And they don't even have 2 pennies to pinch, is something that I'm hearing for some of you. I mean, we had the King of Pentacles in reverse before. There could be gambling problems for some represented here. But yeah, it's like they can delude themselves that they're doing just fine. Coming out of my cage, and I've been doing just fine. But they do not feel like Mr. Brightside. Let me just say that. They feel like the opposite. They're like Mr. Darkside. Yeah, like I feel like this person was creating like almost like a villain arc for themselves. And then I think like meeting you or just interacting with you made them realize that that's not actually what they want, and that it's not in alignment with their truth. I think that they were just embodying this idea, this like villain idea, because it allowed them to enable the things that it allowed them to enable the behaviors that don't serve them but do soothe them. So I think there's this realization where they're like, oh, this isn't in alignment with my truth. I have a lot of things I need to work through. I find myself grabbing my lepidolite, which is interesting. Because lepidolite is a great stone for anxiety, sleeping. This person might not be sleeping a lot. They definitely have a lot of like anxious energy, a lot of self-sabotaging energy. So if this sounds like you, maybe for some of you, you're like, oh, this is definitely me. Lepidolite is a great stone, so you might want to try it. I actually sleep with this big guy by my bedside. See, the nice thing about crystals is that they serve as like they help heal you energetically, but they're also great for protection. And in fact, because like if somebody breaks in, you can just throw them at them. This guy coming at you full force, oh, you're done. But you might be like, but what if my aim is bad? That's why you need tons of them. Because at that point, you can dodge 1 rock thrown at you, but it's a lot harder to dodge like 5 rocks thrown at you at the same time in succession. So, self-protection tips from ASO. You're welcome. Just throw crystals at them. Yeah. This person just needs love. Be patient with them. You're probably like, I'm literally not even talking to them, or like they blocked me and like I have no idea why. And just know it's nothing to do with you. Nothing. It's all to do with them and the void that they feel within, or the fact that they don't feel right now. It's like they've kind of hit the snooze button on their feelings, and they might have caught feelings for you, and that was kind of scary. And I think that it forced them to look at themselves, and I think that they didn't really like what they saw, and that they were really deceiving themselves in a lot of ways, and that they weren't doing as well as they might have appeared. They were deceitful in that way, that they were definitely putting up a front. And I think for them, they had this kind of realization that they need to come home to themselves, and that's really scary. They need to find the light, and that's really scary. And so don't ever feel like you did anything wrong here, pile 4. The only crime that you are accused of is shining your light so brightly and living in your truth so authentically that it makes others question themselves and what their motives are and who they truly are. So I think that is the makings of a very awesome person that you must be. But we are going to get you some advice and see if anything might be shifting in this connection, because it does seem like this person is making a lot of major transformations. So Spirit, what is shifting in this connection, and what advice do you have for pile 4? Okay, these 2 want to come out. All right. What else, please, Spirit? Okay, so to start, we have it's time to take action, new moon in Aries. We have communication is key, new moon in Gemini. We also have your commitment is being tested, first quarter moon. So for some of you, this might be, like, if this sounds like you in any ways, definitely important to utilize this advice, especially if you're trying to better yourself and overcome specific obstacles. I think if you have anything to say to this person, obviously communication is key here. And if you want to take action, I think that action would be communication of some kind. Let's see what else we have. Spirit, what other advice do you have for pile 4, please? Okay, I'm gonna get 6. Wow, okay, awesome. So we have the energy is gaining momentum. A fiery climax approaches. So we've got both Aries cards here. Love to see it, as I myself have a bad case of the Aries scaries. But we also have on the back of the deck, expect powerful change and surrender to the divine. So I definitely think that no matter what your situation is here, things in this situation might be changing literally because this person is feeling forced to change. It's interesting because I feel like there's a detachment from this situation. So actually, this advice might have something to do with an entirely different situation, a different person, something in your career. But I think Spirit is saying just trust, like when people fall away or things like that, it's not your fault. It's for your own reasons, but things are picking up in your life. And I think there's a lot of interesting energy here. So I feel like Spirit is telling you to just stay in your lane and do what's right to you. Make sure you communicate authentically. Communicate with your guides, communicate with the universe. You can do that through prayer. You can just do that by talking. You can just be like, hey, universe, I hope you're having a good day. Love you. Like, I don't know, like just anything. I talk to my guides about stupid stuff all the time. Like, I love talking to myself, and I just pretend, like, I don't pretend, like, I know they're there, like, either rolling my eyes at my bad jokes or laughing in solidarity because they chose to guide me, so they're stuck with my bad jokes. But, yeah, I think for you, there's going to be a lot of interesting changes with that eclipse. I think whatever you've been doing, it's affecting this person. So keep doing what you're doing and keep on shining, because you guys are icons. But I'm going to leave your reading here, pile 4. Thank you guys so much for watching all the way through if you did. And I also want to say thank you so much to everybody who is watching my ads. This is such a simple way to support me. Obviously, it's free. All it takes is like a minute of your time. But it is the simplest way to support me. Obviously, times are tough, and I completely understand if you can't support me anywhere else. I am grateful for any type of support. And so I just want to say to those of you, like, I can tell people have been watching my ads all the way through, and I'm just so grateful that you would exchange that sort of energy with me and help support my channel and me. So thank you. It really means a lot. If this reading resonated, I would love it if you commented down below and let me know how. I love reading your guys' comments. If you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you left a like, and if you haven't already, I would love it if you subscribed. It helps me like you wouldn't believe. Thank you guys so much for watching this all the way through and letting me read your cards. I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye!